going to bring down the cost of food and groceries?
Good. Very good. Thank you.
We have to get back to running the border properly. What's happening in Ohio, Colorado, and every other state is just crazy. It's like a takeover of our country by people that are coming in, and they're coming in with guns, or they're getting guns after they get in. They have the most powerful weapons you can have.
Whenever Donald Trump gives a disastrous performance, whether it was the debate on Tuesday with Vice President Kamala Harris, or it's just a town hall or a rally gone wrong, for some reason, he always decides that it is best to double down on that disaster and hurt his campaign even more. And that is exactly what he did tonight. After his town hall with Sarah Huckabee Sanders for some reason being the moderator, I don't know why he decided that he would go on Shan Hannity. Because the train wreck in Michigan wasn't enough for him, he needed a more national audience to see him absolutely implode. And that is exactly what, in ag, grieved and angry Donald Trump did. Because after he saw his crowds leaving his rally, he just couldn't handle himself, so angry, so upset. And he really just unraveled, going as far as to shock Hannity. And we are going to get to all of that in just a second. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, it really goes a long way in supporting our channel now. Before we get to Trump on Hannity, let's check out this clip from his town hall today for a bit of context on how unhinged he was.
How are you going to bring down the cost of food and groceries?
Good. Very good. Thank you. So we have to start always with energy, always. I don't want to be boring about it, but there's no bigger subject. It covers everything. If you make donuts, if you make cars, whatever you make, energy is a big deal, and we're going to get that. It's my ambition to get your energy bill within 12 months down 50%. If I can do that, we've done a hell of a job. 5-0, not 15, 50. Interest rates are going to follow, and actually they're going to follow for another reason. The economy is now not good, and interest rates, you'll see they'll do the rate cut and all the political stuff tomorrow, I think. And, you know, will he do a half a point? Will he do a quarter of a point? But the reason is because the economy is not good. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it. But we're going to get interest rates down, and we got to work with our farmers. Our farmers are being decimated right now. They're being absolutely decimated. And, you know, one of the reasons is we allow a lot of farm product into our country, and we're going to have to be a little bit like other countries. We're not going to allow so much we're going to let our farmers go to work. And I don't know if you remember, I love the farmers because, you know, I had many meetings as president. I have this gorgeous room with this beautiful table that seats about 35 people, and I was with the farmers. Usually everybody wants something. They all want subsidy. But I was with the farmers, and I think you might have been there, actually, Sarah. I said, look, fellas, we're going to get you such a beautiful subsidy, meaning I'm going to do things. And one of the people raises and, sir, honestly, we don't want a subsidy. This is the first time this ever happened to me. Everyone they want money. They want to build windmills. We want money with these windmills. Anyway, but you know what? It was amazing. He said, almost tears in his eyes, they were getting decimated. We don't want a subsidy. We just want.
So we can see that Donald Trump is trying to hit all of his classics talking about windmills. I'm surprised Hannah Lecter didn't come up, but this seems to be the only point of policy, if you could even call it that Donald Trump thinks that he can lean on. Right now, he wants to direct every single question back to energy. For some reason, even though under Donald Trump we were not energy independent, but under President Biden and Vice President Kamala, as we are for the first time in 50 years. Yet Donald Trump, as he always does, is trying to take credit for that. For some reason, and we saw in that clip as well the genius economic mind of Donald Trump at work, saying the way that he is going to fix grocery prices that are high is by decreasing the supply. Now, I am not an economist myself, but I have taken a single econ class, and I know that decreasing supply doesn't exactly make things a lot cheaper, but hey, I'm not the genius businessman. I can't even say it with a straight face that Trump claims to be. But that was just a little taste of how ridiculous his town hall was. And like I said, he wanted to double down. And so he took his talents to Sean Hannity and decided he would go on just a weird rampage fear-mongering as always. And I want to check that out right here.
We have to get back to running the border properly. What's happening in Ohio, Colorado, and every other state is just crazy. It's like a takeover of our country by people that are coming in, and they're coming in with guns, or they're getting guns after they get in. They have the most powerful weapons you can have.
So I said that Donald Trump wanted to talk about energy policy in the dumbest way all the time. But of course, he also wants to fear monger about immigration, doing so on Sean Hannity, right? They're talking about the most powerful in the world guns that are being brought in. But of course, Trump's solution to that problem isn't gun control. He wasn't talking about that after what the FBI deemed an attempted assassination. No, he went straight to the grift. He went straight to the attacks. He went straight to the lies and conspiracies, because that's the only thing he can do. He wants to distract from his failed record. He doesn't want to talk about policy, and he sure as heck doesn't want to talk about Project 2025. He just wants to fearmonger, which is what he did more of right here.
It's truly one of the great problems, one of the big problems. No country has been invaded like we've been invaded. If you look at what's going on in Ohio and Colorado and so many states, and a lot of states that don't want to talk about it yet because they're embarrassed by it. But they're being invaded by people from jails and by gang members, and we have people coming in from mental institutions, and we have terrorists coming in at a level that we've never seen before. It's crazy. It makes no sense whatsoever why they aren't closing the border. They can do it with a phone call.
It's just fear-mongering. It is just anger. That's all we see from Trump. And it was just spilling out of him on Sean Hannity. You could hear a couple of times in that interview, Hannity tried to get an up or an in to stop Trump because he knows this is such a disaster. In fact, Fox actually cut off Trump's town hall earlier because they knew it was so bad, and they want to protect their MAGA audience from seeing Donald Trump fall apart, which he continues to do. But a part of the town hall that was missed, something that I want to check out, is what Sarah Huckabee Sanders had to say about Kamala Harris. Everyone missed this, but I think it's important we take a look.
So my kids keep me humble. Unfortunately, Kamala Harris doesn't have anything keeping her humble.
By the way, Kamala Harris does have 2 children, and Doug Emhoff's ex-wife, whom of course this is a shared family. Their 2 children are also Kamala Harris's 2 children. She as a step-parent took to Twitter and mocked Sarah Huckabee Sanders, calling her out, saying what a supportive and incredible mother Kamala Harris has been to her 2 kids. And so again, these people so disingenuous with their attacks, and I don't know why they're doubling down on this idea that Kamala Harris isn't a real mom that has already just been so disastrous for them, but of course, that is what they do. They double down on what is worse, and that is what Trump did. And one of the craziest statements that he made all night, which was this right here.
And my question to you, sir, is what do you see as the major threats to the future of Michigan manufacturing, auto working jobs, and what will you do to eliminate those threats, sir?
Okay, so I'll get into another little bit of a long answer, because when you say major threat, to me, we have one really major threat that's called nuclear weapons. We have other countries that...
Nuclear weapons, that's the biggest threat. Are you serious? And that would have been the craziest thing said in this clip. But did y'all notice? And let me know in the comments. If you did, was the guy asking him the question doing a bit of a Trump impression? Is it just me? Am I crazy? Did it not sound like he was kind of trying to do the vocal tendencies of Trump? You could see his hands. He was kind of trying to do it. It's just was very strange, but like I said earlier, Donald Trump was upset by how poorly this rally went very clearly, and I think it's because of one thing people were leaving. You may have saw Midas Touch report about this, I did as well, but of course, Donald Trump's so upset by Kamala Harris attacking people leaving his rallies that he had to talk about it in this clip right here.
We do these rallies, they're massive rallies. Everybody stays till the end, by the way. You know, when she said that, well, your rallies, people leave. Honestly, nobody does. And if I saw them leaving, I'd say, and ladies and gentlemen, make America great again, and I'd get the hell out, okay? Because I don't want people leaving. But I do have to say, so I give these long, sometimes very complex sentences and paragraphs, but they all come together. I do it a lot. I do it with Raising Cane, that story. I do it with the story on the catapults on the aircraft carriers. I do it with a lot of different stories. When I mention Dr. Hannibal Lecter, I'm using that as an example of people that are coming in from Silence of the Lambs. I use it. They say, it's terrible. So they say...
And because thank the Lord karma is so sweet and is such a beautiful thing and is so lovely, you see the smile on my face. You know what I'm about to say. Donald Trump got a little bit of that karma. I was talking about in a speech at a town hall in which he was talking about how people don't leave his rallies. What did people do? And a clip shared from Ron Filipowski. Oh man, I'm doing my Kamala look right now. Just this guy. People leaving early. Because why would they want to stay? Why would they want to hear more of the grievance? More of the same? More of the anger? More of the complaints? More of the ridiculousness? I'm done. I'm fed up. I'm tired of it. Aren't you? Aren't we all? Aren't we all ready to move on from this guy? I certainly am. But for the next 49 days, we're going to keep calling them out so we can make sure that happens. And if you want to support us doing that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. And if you're stuck around to the end, say hi in the comments. I'd love to thank you for doing so. And until next time, I'll see you soon.